Okay. All eyes on me. Let's get quiet. Let's get quiet. Let's get quiet. Ceremony is about to begin.
Welcome everyone to our annual Veterans Day program. Everyone please rise and continue standing for honored guests and veterans and posting of You may now be seated. I would first like to thank everyone that could be here today. When Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner almost 200 years ago, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. Throughout this nation's history, America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back aggressors. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 650,000 American service members who died in battle or the 1.4 million who were wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the 25 million veterans still living today. Though these words are inscribed on the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C. Our nation honors her sons and daughters who answered the call to defend the country they never knew and a people they never met. Those words apply equally to many of our World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, and Gulf War veterans as well. They apply to today's active duty service members, tomorrow's veterans, who are helping to maintain peace throughout the world. Today, it is our privilege to say thank you to all of America's veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for the service and honor them for their sacrifices. The price of freedom is high. We cannot afford to forget those willing to pay it. Today, we celebrate America's veterans for keeping this nation the land of the free and the home of the brave. This year, our guest speaker is Commander Russell P. Bates.
Commander Russ Bates enlisted in the Navy from Fort Walton Beach, Florida in February 1988 as a construction electrician and was commissioned an ensign in October of 2000 under the Limited Duty Officer Program. He earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Administrative Management from Excelsior College in 2015. Commander Bates served enlistment tours, twice with Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 3, Fort Hueneme, California, Construction Battalion Unit 427, San Diego, California, and Naval Communications Detachment, Suda, Crete, Greece. During his tours with NMCB-3, he completed deployments to Rhoda, Spain, Latvia, Guam, Seychelles Islands, Diego Garcia, Morocco, Africa, and Sigonella, Sicily. Following Civil Engineer Corps Officer School, he was assigned as Assistant Public Works Officer, Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida. This was followed by a tour of duty with Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 1, where he completed deployments to Okinawa, Japan, Rhoda, Spain, Andros Islands, and Guam. During this assignment, he served as Bravo Company Commander, Air Detachment Ops Officer, and Detail OIC to Andrews Island. Commander Bates then transferred to Construction Battalion Unit 410 in Jacksonville, Florida, where he was put an officer in charge and deployed his unit in support of Joint Task Force Katrina. In 2006, he transferred to Construction Battalion Maintenance Unit 202, where he served as the operations officer. In 2008, he transferred to 3rd Naval Construction Regiment and was the training and readiness officer in Marietta, Georgia. During this tour of duty, Commander Bates deployed with his regiment to Operation Enduring Freedom, Kandahar, Afghanistan, where he served as the Assistant Operations Officer to a task force of 5,300 engineers. Following this assignment, he commanded Construction Battalion Maintenance Unit 202 in Virginia Beach, Virginia. In 2013, he then served as Navy Expeditionary Combat Command's Current Operations Officer. Commander Bates then served as Chief Staff Officer, 22nd Naval Construction Regiment. In May 2018, he reported on board Naval Construction Training Center Gulfport as the command's 24th commanding officer. Commander Bates is CB Combat Warfare qualified. His decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal, 3 awards, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, 7 awards, Army Commendation Medal, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, 5 awards, Good Conduct Medal, 3 awards, Expert Service Rifle and Pistol, and various unit and service awards.
Well, good afternoon, Hancock High School. So earlier, Major tried to rouse you up a little bit. I'm going to try again. How we doing, Hancock? Well, as Torres said, you did a great job too. Appreciate that. I'm Commander Russ Bates, and it is my honor to be here today to speak to you about Veterans Day. Before I do that, though, I would like to take just a quick moment. If you're a veteran, would you please stand up so we can show you some recognition, please? Great. Thank you very much. I'd like to personally thank each of our veterans here today for your service and sacrifices made in support of our great nation. Students, I'm sure your teachers have familiarized you with what Veterans Day is and why we celebrate it. I'd like to share with you a quote from November 1919, where the President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, and with the gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing for which it has freed us, and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the Council of the Nations. You know, it wasn't until 1954 that the word armistice was struck and replaced with the word veterans. It was this change in words that moved this day of recognition away from a single point in time, known as World War I, to a day of national celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, their love of country, willingness to serve, and sacrifice for the common good. This afternoon, I'd like to tell you about one of my very favorite Seabee veterans, Petty Officer Marvin G. Shields. Marvin is probably the most notable Seabee in history because he is the only Seabee who is a Medal of Honor recipient. Marvin served his country in 1965 in the jungles of Vietnam. Like many Seabees deployed to Vietnam, Marvin's job was to build camps, structures, guard towers, bunkers, operation centers. We needed, build bridges, airfields, fortify existing buildings for military use. His work did not stop there. See, Marvin and his fellow Seabees did more than just build. They defended the things they built. They did this with their machine guns, with their mortar tubes. They were skilled not only as engineers, but also in fighting. And in case you didn't know, the Seabee's motto is, we build and we fight. In 1965, Shields deployed to Vietnam as part of NFCB 11's CB Team 1104. They were there to build and improve the military headquarters and compound in Dong Xuay. Dong Xuay is near Ho Chi Minh City. 9 Seabees and 11 soldiers assigned to the U.S. Army Special Forces A Team 342 occupied this camp, and they shared it with approximately 400 members of the Vietnamese Defense Force. Early in the morning hours of June 9, 1965, CB Team 1104 woke to the sound of mortar fire and rifle fire by Viet Cong forces, so beginning a very intense battle. During this attack and ensuing firefight, Shields supplied his fellow Americans for nearly 3 hours with ammunition while returning enemy fire. Wounded a second time during the attack, Shields nevertheless assisted in carrying a more critically wounded man to safety. And then he resumed firing at the enemy for 4 more hours. Talk about conviction. When his commander, First Lieutenant Charles William, asked for volunteers to accompany him to knock out an enemy machine gun emplacement, Shields unhesitatingly volunteered for this extremely dangerous mission. Bravery. Proceeding toward their objective, they succeeded in destroying the enemy machine gun emplacement, thus undoubtedly saving the lives of many fellow servicemen in that compound. Shields was mortally wounded by that hostile fire, and while returning to his defensive position, and died shortly after being evacuated from Dong Shui. So although Dong Shui was left in charred ruins, the American position held in part to Shields' heroism. No member of CB Team 1104 distinguished himself more than Shields did that day. When the Vietnamese government went on to award Marvin Shields the Vietnamese Order of Gallantry with Palm and the Military Merit Medal after his death. President Lyndon B. Johnson posthumously presented Shields his Medal of Honor and did this to his wife Joan at a White House ceremony in September of 1966. So what an incredible story of bravery, heroism, and courage under fire. Petty Officer Shields was an honorable sailor and committed CB. He put others before himself. He showed bravery in the face of grave danger. He courageously fought despite mounting enemy fire, and he was no doubt committed to his mission. You know, not all veterans are going to have a story like Marvin's. It is certainly an exceptional one. But I can tell you this, just about every veteran you're going to encounter will tell you how much they love their country, how much they enjoy the camaraderie of their fellow service members, and their pride in supporting and defending this great nation, so that every American can enjoy the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness that we enjoy today. As I close this afternoon, I ask that we show all our veterans our greatest gratitude, our respect, and above all, cherish the liberties that they serve to protect for every American and even for those countries that also chose democracy. Students, I thank you for your time today. I thank you for the opportunity to share Petty Officer Marvin Shields' story of patriotism and bravery during this Veterans Day recognition ceremony. It's my honor to be here. I wish you the very best. Go out and enjoy a great Veterans Day weekend. Hurrah!
Sir, thank you for those words. Thank you for coming today. We appreciate you for coming out to Hancock, coming out to Kiel, Mississippi. Hey, let's show them a round of applause from Hancock. Come on, Hancock, let's show them. Just wanted to thank all of our veterans for coming out. Some of you see me every day. You may not know that I'm a veteran also, and I went to Iraq back in 2009 and stayed there for 12 months. Through intense mortar fire, through intense enemy fire, small arms fire. That's what we dealt with every day. It was real. And I want you to understand one thing. Those that served did it because they wanted you to be able to sit where you sit today. So when you see a veteran this weekend, shake his hand. I want to thank Ms. Latin for this opportunity to have this ceremony, but it's not over yet. we have something for you. And I want you to listen to our world famous now. You didn't think you had world famous here in Hancock County, did you? Well, you about to get it. From our band. thank you for listening. Give yourselves a round of applause, Hancock. Great job. Let's give our band a big round of applause for that wonderful rendition. Come on, let's give it up. It's been a wonderful evening. Sir, thank you for coming. Thank everyone for attending, and most of all, Hawk Battalion, I am very proud of you. This concludes our ceremony. Everyone can go out